We understand that what we plan to achieve is that startups will now become the largest engines of Chhattisgarh economic growth, and B.incube will play a pivotal role in shaping the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the state. Ayush, could you please go to the next slide? So currently, uh, this entire initiative, B.incube initiative, is being run by three agencies. The first one being the implementation partner, which we are a part of, All India Institute of Local Self-Government. It's a organization which got established in 1926, and since then it has also only been working with the government sector and international organizations like UNDP, UNICEF, among others. And then there's our funding partner, which is Bilaspur Smart City Limited, and they are also an overwatch partner for the entire initiative. Apart from that, our supporting partner is the state government of Chhattisgarh, which provides all the funding and any kind of market support that we require for these products or services that are incubated with us. Please go to the next slide, Ayush. So agenda for today's meeting is we are going to give you a brief overview of what we plan to achieve through the Udyan and Aakar program. Uh, Overview of all the startups that have joined this program this year. We have almost 50 plus startups who are going to get incubated with us. So a brief overview of those startups we'll try to provide. And then what are we currently offering? Apart from the mentoring and your involvement in this program, what do we have in hand currently? That's what we want to let you know. And what's your role is going to be in this incubation program? You would play a pivotal role in shaping these startups ahead. So how are you going to be involved? And then our entire mentorship program, the timeline for that, and what's your involvement? How are you going to add value to the program? We'll discuss that, and then we'll open the stage for a discussion with all the mentors here. And I think it would be we are open to all your valuable ideas. We are going to note down all the ideas, and based on the constraints that we have in hand, the budgetary or monetary constraints, we try to implement as much as we could. Please go to the next slide, Ayush. So Udayan and Akar program is basically uh, based on the phases of startups. Like if a startup is at a very ideation phase, then we are incubating those startups under the Udayan program. And it's a 2-month intensive program where the final result of this program would be to create an MVP out of those startups. A minimum viable product, whether it's a service, whether it's a product, we'll try to create an MVP through the Udayan program in the 2-month time. So if we are able to do that, I think we'll consider ourselves successful for the Udayan startups. For the Aakar program, it's much more advanced. It's a 5-month intensive business incubation program, and the journey of these startups start from an MVP. If they already have an MVP at hand and they are looking for a go-to-market strategy, or they want to grow their product in the market, or probably go for funding options, then they are incubated in the Aakar program. Ayush, next slide, please. So here is the incubation timeline. We plan to start the incubation program in February 1st or 2nd week. So for the first 2 months, both these programs, Udayan and Akar, would be common, like the mentorship and the assistance that we are providing. It would be common to both these programs. In the 2 months time, if the Udayan startups would be able to provide us with an MVP, and if there would be a pitch deck for these startups involving all of the mentors that we are going to onboard. And once based on the scoring, if everyone gives them a go ahead, they can join the Akar program for the next 3 months and can graduate to the Akar program basically. And the Akar program would run continuously for 5 months. and these are for the startups who already have an MVP at place. We'll take a month's break in July. So till from February till June, we'll run both these programs simultaneously. In July, we'll take a break of 1 month to implement all the feedback from the mentors, from the startups, and from the experiences that we've gained. We'll try to improve the program and relaunch the next cohort in August, which will run till December. And this cycle would continue every year. Basically, two programs we are going to run every year. So in February next year, we are going to launch the cohort 3.0. Please, next slide. Anshuman, would you like to elaborate on this one?
Yeah, good evening, mentors. So we received a huge response from several parts of the country in the recently launched incubation program, which is Cohort 2.2, with over 300 plus startup applications. Post examination of the applicants in the first round, about 150 startup applicants were invited or shortlisted for the pitch deck session, which is the second round. And after the two rounds of scrutiny, more than 50 startup applicants, or 52 to be precise, have been selected for the Udyan and Aakar program, which we are scheduling to be initiated from the first week of February. Ayush, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so here we are presenting some of the glimpses of the startup applicants which we have received. So some of the startups are like Ivy Work, who is working towards making blue collar employees their lives better by giving them to the people who wants to work and enhance their skills for better future. And they're targeting about creating 2 lakh jobs by the end of this year. The other startup is a Grooters India Private Limited, which is an aggregator platform for local nurseries and bouquet stores. They're based out of Uttar Pradesh, Prayagraj, and they also provide logistics support in the city and allows them to showcase their product. At the same time, let the customers place their orders. Then Sun Emission Solar Energy Private Limited is a startup based out of Chhattisgarh who is developing innovative clean energy solutions for enterprises, constructions, real estate constructions, developers, and smart cities. They are one of the most innovative product of there is construction glass and electricity equipments. And they have also recently tested their beta version prototyping of solar toughened glass. Next, please. So another startup is QuickPick, which is all-in-one artificial intelligence-based application through which users can get their own photographs from public places or events in one simple tap, automatically download only relevant photographs and keep their phone galleries managed. Chalbo India is a mobile-based application which connects the cabs and taxis with the right agent and on a one-way journey, resulting in a 50% boost in revenue for cab owners and a 15% reduction in fuel waste and e-stream. Then we have e-Pathshala Educational Services. The company is Future Minds, which is an edutech education tech startup applicant, which is working on decreasing employability with the help of upskilling and also eliminating financial barriers for the students and professionals by their STEP degree programs. So these are some of our startup applicants which we have received. Next slide, Ayush.
So this is basically what we are currently offering to our startups. In the first cohort program that we've launched, we've managed to create tie-ups with multiple educational institutions in Chhattisgarh and other states. We have tie-ups with AWS, Razorpay, Google Cloud, Phenomenal, HubSpot, to name among others. And basically what we are trying to provide is, let's say if we talk about AWS. So AWS is providing server space to our startups and giving a $5,000 credit which is valid for 2 years. So any startups getting incubated with the incubation program can also avail these services. It also provides the AWS also provides business support for $1,500. HubSpot, for instance, it provides full access to its platform across sales, marketing, and service tools, and it also gives a credit of $9,800 free of charge. And there is also a paid customer support for 60 days, which is free for the startups incubated with Incubation Center. Uh, IIT Bhilai, which is a premier institute in Chhattisgarh region, So we signed an MOU with IIT Bhilai to jointly mentor the startups and provide funding support to the startups who fall in the domain of fintech startups. So any fintech startups getting incubated with us would be jointly mentored by both our team as well as by IIT Bhilai. And our startups incubatees could also avail the lab facilities and available at IIT Bhilai. And apart from that, they have a dedicated cloud server, which could also be utilized by these startups. So along with these partnerships, we also have tie-ups with a wide network of trusted individuals. So we have experts, multiple companies from field of finance, legal, digital marketing, web and app development, content creators, and other support systems such as IPR filing and related services. So these individuals and companies are already a part of the incubation program, and they offer their services to our startups at a very discounted price. And because of the trust that we built so far, so we are also very confident to let any startup know about these partners. Thus, for a minimal incubation fee of 2,500 per month per startup. So we are only charging 2,500 per month for any startup that is getting incubated with us. We are offering a great value proposition for the incubated startups in terms of all the services that is a part of the entire incubation service bundle. And we also have a dedicated office space. It's for those startups who are located in Chhattisgarh or probably in Bilaspur. So they can avail the physical infrastructure and all the state-of-the-art facilities in the incubation center. So we strongly believe that these value-added services, along with the expert mentoring that could be provided through your intervention, could make this program a huge success. Arish, please go to the next slide. So future course of action, what we are planning to do is, first of all, we are going to engage with each startup every month through a one-on-one session. We are going to conduct feedback sessions, any problems that that they are facing, any kind of funding support that they require or government support that they require. We'll try to publish that. Apart from that, our in-house team would provide regular information regarding all the events, funding, or government policies that could be availed by the startups. The third thing is the mentoring support, where you guys come in the picture, and this would be a major input for all the startups and major value addition for all the startups to overcome their day-to-day challenges. The next part is we are going to form more associations which are beneficial for the startups. And we already have a set of services that we offer, but uh, we are going to partner with those companies and those corporates which are going to add even more value to the incubation program. The second thing is what we are lacking right now, I would say, is connect with the investor network. So as Anshuman already mentioned, there are a few promising startups who are already offering their services in the market. They have a considerable market base already, and now they are ready to avail the funding options. So this is where we are going to work on to connect them with the right investors and help the qualified startups to avail those funding options. And finally, we are going to reinvest whatever we are earning from these startups for the startups again in this program. So the 2,500 incubation fee that we are charging them, apart from the management of the incubation center, we are going to reinvest the entire incubation fee through mentors, through different other services that we could provide to these startups. Ayush, please go to the next slide.
Yes, so most of the incubatees are first generation entrepreneurs, and there are certain disadvantages, obviously, to not have built a business in the past, which needs to be addressed by the mentoring program. Mentors usually put their skills and knowledge to action and help early stage entrepreneurs to tackle their challenges involved in the building a sustainable business from the bottom of the pyramid. So presently, B.incube has 4 in-house members who have considerable experience in working with early stage startups on its roles. They directly mentor 2 to 3 companies each. They have mentored in the last incubation program. However, providing mentoring always from within B.incube is challenging as the portfolio size increases. And therefore, B.incube wants to collaborate with you always for engaging yourself as a guide, mentors, or sector or functional specialist in this incubation program. Ayush, can you move to the next slide? So what's in it for the mentors? Of course, there are certain advantages for mentoring. Four of them are like there are relationship advantages in which a mentor can get benefit by seeing mentees grow into their profession. They feel a sense of pride in passing skills to the next generation. Professionally, mentees' enthusiasm and energy usually fosters the freedom for mentors to re-evaluate the patterns of their working. In terms of skill, they are able to receive stimulating ideas for use in the workplace, as well as acquiring a sharpened ability to effectively help another. And personally, emerging patterns of interaction leads to a mentor mirroring model. It is a sense of work that affirms and encourages the mentor. Next slide, Ayush.
So basically, this is the overview of the entire program for the first cohort, which is going to get started in February and in June. So every month we are planning for 4 group sessions for all the incubated startups. I already informed you that for the first 2 months, these sessions would be common to both Akar and Udayan program. And for the next 3 months, these sessions would be at a very
जुकाम
advanced, like from
आपका
intermediate to
वॉइस थोड़ा
advanced
सा
level,
खड़खड़ा रहा
where it's mostly
कुछ
to help
addition आ
these
रहा है?
नहीं
Next one में
startups
नहीं आ रहा?
in their
नहीं
growth
बहुत थोड़ा
and
सा मीडियम था
avail
थोड़ा
the funding
सा
options.
हाँ
For the first 2 months, we are looking forward to building an MVP and go-to-market strategy.
वो कंप्लेन
So the sessions would start at a very basic level and then would go to an intermediate level. And for the next 3 months, advanced level sessions would be planned. And we have in mind a few of the sessions which we'll discuss in the next slide, and then we'll open the stage for discussion. Apart from this, what we require from your end is one-on-one session with individual mentees. So this is a pro bono engagement. The group
ठीक है,
sessions
अभी डिस्कशन
would
नहीं
be
होगा मेंटर्स के
done
साथ, अगर
along
उनके
with
कोई
an
सजेशंस और
honorarium.
रिप्लाईज वगैरह
But
आते हैं
this one-on-one
जो भी
sessions
क्वेश्चन लग रहा है
that
वो
we are
लिख लेंगे.
planning,
ठीक है
we need
हाँ.
your involvement in that as a pro bono engagement. So we simply require 1 hour of your availability every week, where you will just mention that this is the time where you're available to connect with any of the startups who can directly reach out to you based on their uh, sector or probably their problem that they are facing, and they can see your profile and they can see the professional experience that you have, and they can directly reach out to you in the 1 or 2 hour that you provide every week. So, and post every engagement, we would work with the startups and the mentors to provide a feedback, like how these sessions could be improved. And this is the entire mentorship program overview. Like, this is the only engagement we would require from your end. These group sessions, we could let you know that these are the sessions that we are planning for these startups, and based on your availability, based on your expertise, or if you've already given these sessions earlier, you can let us know that you're comfortable in taking these group sessions, and an honorarium will also be provided for these sessions. Ayush, please go to the next slide. Yeah, so for the next 3 months, the sessions that we've planned so far, Ayush, could you please click on this slide a couple of more times? There, just go back to that slide. I believe there were other we planned so far. I think we
हाँ
planned 12 sessions. We'll give you a brief
ऐसा क्या
overview of those sessions, but
अच्छा
uh, like these sessions for the first 2 months would be common to both Akar and Udayan program. So a basic business plan, starting from a basic business plan uh, to hello, Ayush, could you please go to the slides?
जस्ट अ
Just a
मोमेंट
moment, sir.
information you require. Then problem solving sessions, we can build a session out of that. Building a market strategy, design thinking and product development, startup management, team management, pitch perfection. So the third session of the second month is pitch perfection, basically to help the Udyan program startups to provide a pitch deck, to create a pitch deck for us to evaluate when they have an MVP. And the last session is financial literacy. So these are the sessions for the first 2 months. There are other sessions planned as well, which will be informed to you in due time. And we also are planning for a government funding session, that what are the policies and funding support which are available for startups from different sectors, and how can they avail them. And at the same time, how investor connect, like if we are able to form associations with investors, how are we going to help these startups connect with those investors. Arush, please, yeah. So now we are open to your valuable ideas. Please feel free to join in. Please provide your suggestions. And
Good evening. This is Dr. Satish Bhavankar. I'm from Bangalore.
please go ahead.
I have around 22 years of experience in user research and user experience. Yeah, I've been mentoring a lot of startups in southern part of India. Okay, so my quick question is, what is the criteria for selecting the startups in your incubation center? Is it an innovation or an impact?
So both. First of all, because we are a government-backed incubation center, so we are trying for those startups who are creating a lasting impact in the society. But at the same time, if it's a viable business model which could be scaled, then we are looking forward to those startups as well.
Okay, in this 2 months program, you are selecting only idea stage or
Yes, sir.
what stage
So
startups?
these startups are basically in the ideation phase and which are close to developing their MVP. So for the Udayan program, it's a 2 month program, and these startups would could graduate to join the Akar program if they are able to develop a viable MVP option, and which would be scrutinized and evaluated by all the mentors and all the in-house team of the incubation program. If they give a go ahead, then probably we could graduate them to the Akar program and help them with the go-to-market strategy.
Okay, so what was your experience in the first cohort?
In the first cohort, we only worked with startups from Chhattisgarh region, and they were at a fairly ideation phase. So what we tried to do is we tried to utilize the support from the government end. Just for instance, I would say there was a startup, Genie Delivery Services, which was based out of Bilaspur. So this startup provided online grocery, food, and any of the medical uh, like medicines you require. So all in one platform. And so they were competing with Swiggy, Zomato, and at the same time they were also providing grocery services to people in Bilaspur. So during lockdown, what we did is no one was able to get access to provide any kind of services during the lockdown. So we helped this startup avail like this startup to provide their services throughout the lockdown. In that 1 month time, when the entire state was under lockdown, and Bilaspur was under lockdown, so they made a huge sales of, and they added almost 10,000 or 20,000 new customers, and they made a huge sales through our like what the service that we try to provide them. So this is the kind of support that we provided, along with the server space and all the supporting services that I already informed you. We also have types with people from the legal and financial advisory people from, let's say, a chartered accountant or a company secretary who can help these startups to form the companies, like in the formation of what kind of company that they would like to build, and then such kind of support is for the first cohort program. And now we are trying to improve our offerings by involving mentors from all over India, so that our startups could avail a better value addition for the same price that we've earlier offering.
Thank you.
This is Satish Nanare. I'm an IT professional with close to about 40 years of experience.
Yes, sir.
One suggestion, see, I advise about half a dozen IT startups. And what I've realized is, in the initial stages, most of these entrepreneurs make common mistakes. So when we talk to each of them, we actually kind of train them on the same aspect probably 6 times. But if this forum can plan certain training sessions, which are very basic, so that common mistake can be avoided, and the mentors can actually spend more effective time rather than telling the same thing 6 times, 7 times to every entrepreneur. One suggestion from my side.
Absolutely, sir. That's the reason we are trying to plan out these group sessions where each startup could avail the mentoring session through any of the mentors who are uh, willing or is an expert in a particular sector. So that each of the startup would get the same kind of information, which would start at a basic level, and then we'll move to an advanced level in the coming months.
Or whatever, the active angel networks or VC circles, that's something which you should do a formal type like you did it with the other institutions. That would be my another suggestion.
Hello. Yes, good evening. This is Anand Kannan here. I run this company called as Sparkino from Bangalore, and we work in the space of innovation management. And apart from being part of the Sparkino, I am also the national president for the world's biggest inventors federation called as IFIA, which stands for International Federation of Inventors Association. So with both these things, we offer a couple of things for these startups. Many startups, because in our journey we have seen Indian startups fail internationally in one single area, which is user experience. And user experience plays a critical role in any product or any service. So that is one of those areas where we would like to provide our services and our expertise in that domain. The second area is as a part of the biggest federation, we work in commercialization activities. Like your go-to-market is one of those areas that you just mentioned. So, but go-to-market cannot be for every product the same way. So we can support these startups in that journey, wherein we mentor them, we handhold them, and understand what is to be done, what product pivots have to be undertaken before we even jump into go to the market thing. And the third area is basically the investors connect, which I think we have enough chartered accountants in our group who would be well connected in this domain. But we bring in international connects. That's where our expertise is. We work with a lot of international funders at different levels. So when we talk of commercialization, the commercialization could work in a couple of manners. One is investors who could be part of the company wherein they bring in the investment to scale up the journey. Second could be either they find the product is extremely attractive and they take over the startups, or the third is plain investment wherein they will look up at investment as an exit strategy. So these are some of those ways where we would like to engage ourselves and offer our services to your incubation center. And apart from that, yes, we would definitely like to be one-on-one. We don't do seminars and webinars. That's not the way that we work. We like to understand the core nature of the startup, their problem areas, and sit with them and provide them the inputs. Because UX, user experience, and commercialization cannot be generic. Everything depends upon a product or a service and the journey that these people are all involved in. So that's something that we would definitely like to be involved in. And yes, you already have I think you already have our email IDs, and you can reach us and let us know.
Vishnu, I'll take a minute. I have a lecture at 4.
Please go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Professor Asha Rani Kapoor. I'm based at Uttarakhand, and I'm mentoring right now 27 centers across Northern India and Northeast, Central India. My experience with the startup since the inception of startups 2019 is we should groom them for knowledge. We should empower them for sustainability rather than helping them to have an angel investor or having a grant or having a sort of not only for funding. No entrepreneur should hold hands with any incubation center just for money, right? It's your own money which will take you for sustainable 5 years, 10 years to make you a successful businessman or a businesswoman. We are here to do knowledge sharing. My idea is to impart knowledge, to empower and throw them in the world to sustain with their capabilities, with the amount of knowledge the incubation centers and the mentors provide them, and also the innovation. Innovation is the key. And I would suggest instead of going global first 5 years, we handhold you, we impart knowledge, and then you firmly ground your feet in the local markets. Local markets have huge potential. As the middle class earnings have gone up, I have studied more than 1,000, 1,200 new startups all over these centers over last 4 5 years, 4 years. What I feel, if you have a local product which goes down well with locals and you have a MVP which is ready to compete in the established market, then you're done. So idea is to not make them dependent on finances. Finances will come once, twice, thrice, not always. We have to make them competent by giving them enough knowledge for their product and sail through all the tides. That is my take on this. Thank you. I won't take much time.
Uh,
There are a lot of people waiting.
That's great.
Thank you,
I
Vishnu. Thank
had
you.
in Asa ma'am's like whatever she told, it was really valid. I believe like I don't have much experience in this industry, but Vishnu, I do have some points because I'm in this startup ecosystem, a kind of proactive person and connected with like entire India, a few of the good incubations. Like I
Please
had
go ahead.
Mumbai Startup India. Yeah, so I have couple of questions, just two questions for you and one input from my side. So B.incube, is it a state incubator like you are an incubator which is supported by state government? Like there's a incubation center like Startup Odisha and iHub in Gujarat. So are you one of those or you are a private incubation center kind of?
No, it's a government-backed incubation center, but we are directly getting funds from the smart city. So under the entire Indian Smart City initiative, every smart city can set up an incubation center, and
Right.
this is how we
It's
got
a
started.
state incubation center kind of, right? Great. So I have one.
Yes, Saurabh, we are backed by State Incubation Center. We are being supported by the Chhattisgarh state of government, and but we are being funded by the Smart City of Bilaspur. That's
That's
what
great.
Vishnu is trying to say.
Because most of the incubation centers are funded by state government. Like there are few funds named SDST and IC fund. So all the way, I have just one input to share is as a young entrepreneur and after my journey in the facilitator side, instead of these sessions and all, these all are valid, right? Like means in one chapter, right? But when we talk about ground, so ground reality is as an entrepreneur, we need more network and we need practical things like do collaboration or MOUs with few of the institute and universities and ask them to provide interns because again it will add value in the ecosystem in the students and for startup as well, right? For three of them. So I'll suggest that do some MOUs with few of the institute and few of the colleges, ask their students to join in as interns for startups, right? So we can promote that culture in Chhattisgarh. And again, thank you so much for invitation.
Absolutely, Saurabh, that's a valid point, and we already have MOUs with multiple regional institutes, so we could provide internship or other opportunities to these students from these institutions. And our startups in the first cohort program has already availed those services. Apart from that, earlier I also want to answer the question that was raised by I think I can't see you right now on the screen. But sir, you mentioned that there any funding options which could be availed by these startups through the Chhattisgarh government? So there are those options. We are already working with the government in availing those options. But the only thing is, this time we are including startups from other states as well. So these options would only be available for the startups from Chhattisgarh. And for other state startups, as you mentioned, that there are some options in Rajasthan. So that would be difficult for us to pull off those funds from other states. But at least for the startups of Chhattisgarh, we are trying to work with the government to help them provide these funds.
It's good to have pan-India people, Vishnu. I've seen that when you just restrict to local applications, then you somehow can't compete. Like you can't pick up the best. And I
Absolutely.
believe when your project is thoughtfully done, it needs a lot of retrospection on the seed stage when you are innovating in your mind, when you're writing it on a piece of paper. That hard work reflects in your own thought process that where you want to reach. So at the screening time, it's really important to invite Pan India. No?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone. I just want to briefly introduce myself as well. My name is Varun. Thanks, Vishnu, for that lovely presentation. Great to be here. So just to introduce myself, I'm a co-founder of a beverage company based out of Goa, and I have about 19 years experience in the digital marketing space. I've been in financial services. I was doing marketing for DBS Bank before this, and I was also with Yes Bank prior to that. So I really look forward to reviewing your marketing modules because I really believe that startups, one of the core skill sets for startups today should be digital marketing. That's the way to engage with their consumers, no matter what they are, industry, whatever they are. I think that's a very very critical skill set. So I really look forward to adding value on that front, and look forward to connecting with all these other mentors as well. So thanks once again.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Varun sir. And I'm from the marketing field as well. So I did my graduation from University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign in marketing and strategy. So I can totally relate to what you're saying there. It's a really crucial input from our end that we could provide a go-to-market strategy or probably additional marketing, how they can avail these startups.
Super. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Amit Kumar Tiwari. I'm from Pune, India. I'm working as a professor and head of intellectual property, and
Sure.
I look forward for discussions on innovations actually, and a very important topic of how to invent, because we these startup and especially those companies who are more into research and development, like they must know about art of inventing. So I totally agree with Dr. Kapoor on that. We have to impart knowledge on these full of knowledge to these budding startup companies and incubators actually. So definitely, what all we can do, definitely I'll help in that process of protection of intellectual property, design, copyright, trademark, etc., and also gathering of patent knowledge on patented process, product, and all. So I'll be definitely sharing my knowledge on that. So thank you very much for inviting me for this wonderful platform.
Great, sir. Pleasure to have you
Thank
on
you
board.
very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amit.
Free
Yeah,
to.
hi Vishnu, Sagar this side.
Hi, sir.
So, I'm a software engineer by background and profession, and an entrepreneur also. Right now, I'm associated with an investment circle, and these are angel investors of a community of more than 2,500 people right now.
Hmm.
And we are the fastest angel network. You must have heard of We from the Circle, right? So we can help you by providing the investment funds and all the things. Along with that, as Asha ma'am told, that we should onboard mentors for like uh, providing the strategic help along with the money, right? So we only onboard people who could provide the help to the startups and have a domain expertise over the years also, right? So they could build the sustainable thing, right? And one more thing I want to add on that when you assess the startups applications, when you onboard them, maintain a certain kind of matrices right? So you don't means you are not willing to onboard every kind of startup, right? And each and every one which is coming with the idea, right? There should be some kind of matrices, and that will help you in building a more kind of success ratio for your incubation as well, right? So that is my add-on. Thank you.
Absolutely, Sagar. We are looking forward to all these suggestions, and we are going to implement these suggestions as and when possible. Probably, if not in this cohort program, in the next 5 months, after the next 5 months, in the next cohort program, we are anyway going to implement all the valuable suggestions for these startups.
Great, great, great. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Advocate Sonali Sawant from Pune. I have my own law firm, Projura Legal, and I'm very happy to be here. And I also work in intellectual property rights and privacy laws. And I have helped like startups with forming their legal strategy to identify the intellectual property involved in their business and help them in protecting the intellectual property under Startup India scheme. So as all of you might have be aware like patent and trademark facilitation is free under Startup India scheme. I help most of the startups to protect their trademark, to register their trademark patents under the Startup India scheme and how to identify and how to what we can say evaluate the hidden intellectual property in the business. So I really look forward to helping the startups with the incubation center and take forward this journey from here. Thank you.
Great, ma'am. Thanks a lot for joining this session.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Vishnu. This is Dr. Sagar Padangi from Symbiosis Pune.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please, please,
first of all,
please.
thank you so much for inviting us for this session. It was a really informative sessions, and we can see most of the stalwarts, and we also got a good opportunity to connect with them. Neither we would not have met them. That is also one of a good thing that you have helped us to connect them. As far as my question is concerned, I was having some curiosity question. Out of the 52 startup, how many startups were applied for the program of Aakar, and how many startup apply for that 2 months program of yours? Could you please brief us on that?
Absolutely. Out of those 350 applications, Anshuman, I believe you could give a brief
So,
overview.
hi, Mr. Sagar. So, about 24 applications we have selected for Udayan program, and about 28 applications we have selected for a car program. So, applications were invited on onto our various platforms via our social media platform as well as from the Startup India as well. So, about 350 applications were invited, and after the first scrutiny, we have received or we have selected basically 150 applications for their pitch deck presentations on the basis of certain like evaluation parameters. We have selected about 52 startup applicants for this cohort.
Okay, so that cohort would be for Udayan or for Aakar program?
It would be for both of them, in which 24 applicants would be involved into the Udayan program, and the other 28 would be involved into Aakar.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Vishnu.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir.
I would also request if you could have some WhatsApp group or Telegram group, as Tiwari sir has also posted for
Of
all
course,
the
of
members
course, of
so that we
course,
can
Mr.
get
Sagar.
connected.
We'll be doing that.
It could be
Thank you.
optional. You people had thought of it, but this was a suggestion. Thank
Great.
you.
I think it would be great value add for each one of you also to collaborate and get in contact with each other.
Yes, yes, we do have some startups connected, and they are looking for an incubation center. And as now you already told that you are always open for the startups from out of state also,
Yes,
because I have some of the startups which are into mainly into semi-urban and rural areas.
sir. Hmm.
They have some language problems and all, so we want that we should be help them into that language creation also, then communicating their product to the world. So we wanted to help the people those who are from semi-urban areas also and the rural areas also. So we
Hmm.
thought that we also can give you some of the startups, and you also can help them through your networks. So in that way I was thinking we can have some group work.
Great, great. Thank you very
Anybody
much.
can help anybody. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hello everyone, myself Yash Gurnani. I am the practicing company secretary. I own my firm in the name of Yash Gurnani and Associates. I do actually mentor the startups and support them by the legal compliances. So I support them to take the trademarks and to comply from the all from the law. And because we all know that the law is very harsh, and by the one day we need to pay the penalties also. So what I take care of that is my all startup which I have. And Vishnuri, thank you for inviting me and appointing me as a mentor in your Incube Center. And I will be thank for this, and I will give my all inputs to improvise your startups. Thank you all.
Absolutely, yes. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to
Hey
connect with you.
Vishnu, hey Vishnu, Yadin here from Goa,
Yeah,
the
please go ahead.
Pilani Goa campus. So much happy to know your programs and like as being in this like I started my career as a founder and coming on the other side as incubation leader. Like this is my 12th incubation center which I'm working with. So I will have few questions for you. One is like who will be connecting the vendor selection will be done by the startups or by the incubator?
So there's an echo.
हाँ
Oh, I'll
तुमको तो बोला मैं
Yeah,
रिकॉर्ड
is
कर
it?
रहा हूँ
Am I audible right now? Yeah. Yeah. So what we are trying to do is we are going to highlight each one of your profiles on the platform that we've developed, and
हाँ
the startups can directly reach out to you
मिल
based
जाएगा
on
वो
the
उसका
problems
इशू है
that they are facing and the experience that you've highlighted on your profile. So any like the
बड़ा
day
सिस्टम
or
नहीं
the
चला रही
time
क्या
that
मैम
you've assigned that
है कि भी
let's say
नहीं
you're free for 2 hours on Friday.
क्या उसमें
So
ज़्यादा
any
लोग करते
startup
हैं ना
could reach out to you for a 1 hour session, and it's up to you whether based on the problem that they will let you know that this is the discussion that they want to have with you. So if you feel confident that you could provide a value to those startups, you could go ahead with that session, or you could let us know that I think they should get in touch with other mentors. So probably we'll advise them to go to other mentors, but as of now the startups would be reaching out to you.
Okay. My second question is on like is there any metrics which the mentoring will be monitored or uh, or there in any particular metrics that you're following for the mentoring output?
So as of now, uh, creating that evaluation criteria for the mentoring sessions that you'll provide, but at the same time, we'll set up a feedback mechanism where you could also provide the feedback for the startups that you've mentored, one-on-one sessions, and the startups could also provide us a feedback whether they've got any value from the mentoring that you provided. So and in the meantime, in the next 2 or 3 months, we'll come up with metrics basically where these are the things that you need to provide the startups. So currently we don't have that, but we are in the process of formulating the same.
So one suggestion is like you that you as I can see like a lot of people have similar same expertise in IT technology. So it would be better like if you can pool the vendors into different pool sets, like maybe business vendors and technical vendors and IT vendors and legal vendors, so that they can get like easier access to them and like there won't be any reputation in that case for sure. So I would suggest that one for making the program more easier and convenient for the startup side. And as we are at this planning, we look forward for healthcare and environmental startups. So if any of your startups are in this segment, we can look forward for a collaborative or incubation program at which where we can fund them also. Because like most of the startups, like, the biggest challenge is like finding the investment, right? So we can also support this for sure.
So it's a great suggestion, sir. I believe, I think we need to do that because there are specific sectors from where we have multiple mentors on board. So it's a great suggestion. We'll anyhow implement this in the current incubation program, and we'll let you know of any of the startups from this domain probably we'll directly reach out to you regarding the same. Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to connect with the fellow members here. Because like as being an enabler, I also get like a lot of shadows, so I can these people here like you make sure that they're ready to spend their time for startups. So thanks to show for that. Bye.
Great to have you, sir. So I believe it's already 4:05. We have planned this session to be 45 minutes to 1 hour. Yeah. If anyone has any suggestions, please go ahead. I thought someone was speaking. Okay. So if there are no other suggestions, we'll want to end the session now. It's already 1 hour already passed away so soon. I didn't even realize it's already 4. But we took a note of all the suggestions and all the points that you mentioned. We'll try to implement those as soon as possible. We'll try to create a WhatsApp group joining every one of you. Uh, we'll reach out to you over email if you have any other suggestions that you were not able to let us know right now. Probably you could email us directly, and then also include your WhatsApp contact in the email so that we could create a group for all the mentors on board.
So you
So
can
I
do
would,
a easier way, create a group, take that group link and send it over email. So those who are interested, they can join.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you, Anshuman. Thank you, Vishnu. And
Thank
all
you.
the
Thank you.
best. All the best. Your presentation was well planned and well executed. Thank you. My best wishes to the complete team.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much.
Thank you. God bless.
Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining today.
Thank
We
you.
reach out. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. Looking forward to this great journey. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you very much for joining us. And it was a great presentation. Sorry, I joined in a little late. And thanks a lot. And but I just wanted to know one thing, Vishnu. How would you be connecting the mentors to the startups? Will you be doing the one-to-one mentoring, or you will be doing like one startup and 2 to 3 mentors for that, and or it will be need-based?
So currently we are planning for group sessions and the one-on-one mentoring. That's kind of a pro bono thing that we are asking or requesting you guys to do. Like every week, you just take out 1 or 2 hours of your time, and then these startups, based on their problems and the profile that we highlight for the mentors, will directly reach out to you for the mentoring sessions.
Okay, okay.
Initially, and going forward, if we do not have the budget constraints, we anyhow understand that it's a great value addition if there's one-on-one mentoring for each startup and a mentor is assigned for each startup. But currently, due to the budget constraints, we are not able to implement that. But going forward, we are planning to do that as soon as possible.
Okay, so it will be a group mentoring, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
that's great. That's it. Okay, thank you very much, Vishnu.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, the whole team, for connecting us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I think Vishnu, we should wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks again, everyone, for
Thank
joining
you
the
all
session.
for being a part of the session.
Yeah, so we will send an email, probably with a WhatsApp group link, where you can all join the mentor group for the incubation program. And we are going to have, we are planning for kind of an orientation program for the startups in the first week of February. So through email or through those WhatsApp group, we'll let you know. And it would be great if you could all join that orientation program and provide your suggestions to the startups as well. So looking forward to meeting you regularly, and thanks a lot again for everyone, to everyone.
Vishnuji, one thing more I want to ask that ki,
Please,
where we
please.
have to update our profiles. So how the startup will know that what we actually in a forte.
Yes, you will be receiving an email post this session.
Okay, sir.
By the next working day, you will be receiving an email, and into that there will be some instructions and guidelines for the mentors concerning how to set up a profile into this platform, so that everyone could see it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.